WPTV.com and our WPTV Facebook page with the free mobile app. Students across the country are walking out of class, and it all comes with the current climate of gun violence in schools. We'll get a look at where those students are walking out first, but it all comes with breaking news this morning, and there's a big update to it from the Associated Press. Out of Ocala at Forest High School, there was a shooting where one student shot another. We are hearing that is where the incident was isolated. The student shot in the ankle, taken to the hospital, and that other, the shooter, is a suspect, and they were at the school apprehended as well, also a student. So as that resolves itself, we bring you to this. Massive walkouts. We're talking about 2,600 schools across the country scheduled to hold walkouts today, including many here locally. Let's take a look live right now at G-Star School. That's in Palm Springs, G-Star School of the Arts. We have our Andrew Ruiz there setting the scene for us right now. What are you seeing there? Are there any students out of class yet?
Yeah, it's happening right now, Mike. It is 10 o'clock, and you can see that there are some students that are going to start filling this big courtyard that is here at the G-Star School of the Arts. They have been very instrumental here in this community with these walkouts. In fact, I was here at their last walkout, which was close to the time when the shooting at Stoneman Douglas did occur. And these students, again, have a lot of passion. They've created speeches. They've arranged for even a student from Marjory Stoneman Douglas to be here today to speak. I have seen a couple of them that have even had their March for Their Lives hoodies on. Interested to speak to them to see if any of them did attend that rally in Washington where we saw thousands upon thousands, again, right there on the mall, again, talking about the need for gun violence to stop. And so, again, these students right here at G-Star School of the Arts filing into the courtyard right here, talking about the need for gun control. There are some of them that are going to be carrying signs. There is a student over here that has one already that he's holding it up. They're obviously waiting for that time where all of them are going to be speaking here, which do include some student leaders, includes a student from Marjory Stoneman Douglas, interested to see what he has to say. His parents joined him here. Clearly a very emotional time for him, and very important to him for him to be here today. This is, of course, happening in many schools across our area, and we're going to try to bring you some of those live speeches here, Mike. So I'm going to send it back to you.
And if we could keep that video up, thank you, to the side, and we could just show those students gathering. I know sometimes it's hard to do a live report as Andrew is and set up interviews, but if there's any students willing to talk, we'd like to give them some opportunity to gather them around. I want to mention as well, this is also spurning from the 19th anniversary commemoration of that Columbine shooting. Of course, a day that will live in our country forever. The 13 people that died in that school. They are kind of bouncing this protest, this walkout to school gun violence today on that anniversary for Columbine. But of course, it's not just Columbine. We're talking about Parkland. They're protesting. We're going to get there shortly, but also many schools locally. As we said, we just saw G-Star School of the Arts in Palm Springs. Now we're going to go to Jupiter High School. That's where our Alana Quillen is right now, seeing what students are up to there. Alana.
Well, students haven't started walking out yet. I'm just standing right here outside of the school, right here near the school sign. I'm told that the students won't start walking until 10:30. That is when one of their periods ends. So that's when they plan to walk out from the school, probably right here. And I'm also told they're going to take this path all the way down the road here, straight to the police department, which is just a couple of blocks away here on Military Trail. So it's not too far, but that is where they plan to go, again, to speak out against gun violence and call for change. Now, all of this will be happening here in the next 30 minutes is when they plan to start walking out. We have seen a few students leave, but they weren't necessarily leaving for the walkout yet. But again, here at Jupiter Community High School, their walkout is planned for 10:30 to head over to the police station. Will, of course, be here as those students begin walking. Back to you.
Thank you, Alana. And obviously, we are seeing a lot of live pictures come in as well. People just getting started in Jupiter, but also our nation's capital. Some 10,000 people estimated to be there today to talk about gun violence in schools. We're taking a look at a D.C. area school right now where, as Alana mentioned in Jupiter, they're about to walk out, but here they are walking out, and it's a live aerial view of that school. I want to tell you about some things locally as we kind of get the grasp of how many students are walking out of school across the country and locally right now. Just north of us in Brevard County, there's been a major discussion about arming teachers and arming administrators with guns. There's been many volunteers, and we just talked about that this morning, how nearly 40% of non-teachers and administrators say they'd be willing to go through some type of training to carry guns on campus. That's part of the conversation that we're having this morning. But we do want to get back to our Andrew Ruiz at G-Star School of the Arts in Palm Springs. I see that sign they're holding there. Andrew, please tell us what this student is talking about today.
Well, this is Debbie, and Debbie is a junior here at G-Star. And Debbie, tell me first about your sign and why you think that it's important to be united around the students of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas.
I do believe that, like, with the school coming together, we can kind of have like a more powerful vote rather than just one person speaking out, and like more than like half the school is here, meaning that like we do like have a saying, and you know, like they don't really have a choice whether to listen to us or not, because like more and more people are coming together to really like show that this is important to us.
And you aren't of the age to vote yet, right?
No, I'm not.
But
yeah, I'm 17.
But that is something that you are encouraging some of your peers. In fact, there are people who are being registered to vote today. Why is it important to vote?
Because I mean, like that way, more opinions are heard in that way rather than just adults. Because like adults don't come to school and they don't see the environment that we're in and stuff like that, and like things like that can happen really anywhere and stuff like that. So it's really like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's important for like everybody to come together and be able to voice their opinions.
And what you guys have been saying is really to watch what lawmakers are voting on, to see what decisions are making, if they impact you guys in any way, and if they are increasing gun control, which is something that you're in favor of, right?
Yeah.
Did you participate in the last walkout,
Yeah.
which was, and how was that? Paint a picture for us of what that was like.
It was nice seeing everybody come together and really speaking out. There was like a lot of signs, and everybody was honking on their way there, and you can really see that it impacted people.
And this was an important movement for you guys because, again, this is the youth coming together for something that you guys are passionate about. Do you guys think that you guys can make a difference?
Yes, because I feel like when we have each other and we have the support of each other, and even like our school and like our founder of the school, you know, our principal, everybody's coming together and really like, I feel like it can happen. It can change something.
Great, Debbie. Thank you so much. Again, Debbie is a junior here at G-Star, and they do have a program that is going on over there. They're actually singing the national anthem right now. So let's go ahead and see if we can maybe listen in to some of the ceremony right here at G-Star School of the Arts.
And bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now, speaking is our honorary speaker, Daniel Tavares.
And as you can see, they are now introducing the student, and we do want to hear from him. He is a student at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, speaking in front of these students in Palm Springs.
How are you all doing today? My name is Daniel Tavares, or you guys can call me It's Your Boy. I am a freshman and a survivor from our beloved home, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. I want to thank you all for inviting me over to your wonderful school. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here and to meet you all. I want to give a special thanks to the person that invited me and my new friend, Catherine Magana. Today, I am here not to represent myself, but to represent every student, teacher, and administrator from MSD that has gone through this. I represent the adults and children that won't or can't speak today. I want to begin my message with my story. On February 14th, Dia de San Valentin, it was a beautiful and special day, full of laughter, hearts, and roses. There were creations of new couples, or sometimes rejections of becoming new ones. I thought I was going to go to school, come back home to celebrate with my family and friends. But then fourth period came, the last period of the day. The day was near to an end. I was in my Spanish class taking notes when the fire alarm rang for the second time of the day. This caused confusion and suspiciousness to many of us. As we were exiting and heading to the red gates, people began to yell, "Code red, code red, code red." At first, we only saw it as a drill, until shots were heard to tell the truth. My whole class was quickly divided into three. Some ran back into class, some sprinted out the gates, and others, including myself, rushed to the auditorium. We all hid and waited for the all-clear sign. After more than 2 hours, we were released back into the hands of our families, except for 17 of us. Aaron, Chris, Scott, Elena, Alyssa, Alex, Kara, Carmen, Gina, Helena, Jamie, Joaquin, Luke, Martin, Meadow, Nicholas, Peter were the 17 eagles that soared to heaven. We will not forget the precious names of these 17 innocent angels. Angels that opened our eyes and touched our hearts powerfully. After this horrible incident that we didn't plan, anger and grief was growing in our bodies for over a month. A few of our brothers and sisters at MSD were in this phase, but they were curing themselves by using what they have: their voice, their knowledge, and their courage. This group is now known as Never Again. Even though people call them actors, I call them a motivation, an inspiration, and a future to this nation. This group is why I found my voice. I found friends. I found the light in the dark. This group is why I'm here today. If we are the future, then why don't we make it our future? Let us all pre-register for these upcoming elections. On 2020, we will have a chance to vote for the right politician. We will vote for who supports us and really listens to our generation. Like Andy Warhol once said, they always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. We can't forget that the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness is on top of all of the rights. What happened at Columbine, Sandy Hook, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, Rape Mills, Maryland, or any other shootings in the past should never happen again. Nunca más. Never again should our world be led by politicians that won't pay attention to us. Never again should our world be trespassed with any weapon. Never again should our world be worried by the use of weapons. Never again should our world become cemetery to adults, teens, or children. Never again should our world lose more lives. Never again should our world mistreat itself or anyone unequally. Enough is enough. Gracias. Thank you again for inviting me to your home. And God bless you all. Always remember, be positive, be passionate, and be proud to be an eagle. We are the future and we will shine. Thank you.
There you go. You could hear a student from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas talking to a group of students here in Palm Springs at the G-Star School of the Arts, again emphasizing the importance of going out and registering to vote, also being informed about the way that politicians are voting, especially when it comes to gun legislation. We know that we have the League of Women Voters here today. They are registering whatever students are eligible to register to vote. Again, there is a crowd here of about several hundred students from G-Star School of the Arts, and they're going to continue with their rally here that they've planned so eloquently.
All right. All right. You've been listening in to Andrew Ruiz at G-Star School of the Arts in Palm Springs. Obviously, one of the students there from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. Interesting to note, if you're just watching, he was wearing a clear backpack. That's a mandatory thing for that school now. Mandatory clear backpack where you can see through. One of the many regulations that have come about from that school shooting, of course, where 17 people died in Parkland. Earlier, we were taking a look to the left-hand side of some students in the D.C. area walking out of school. Just want to kind of reset here for you on WPTV's app, website, and Facebook as you're taking a look at a special live online report from students walking out of class, not only locally here, but nationwide. It comes on the heels of breaking news out of Ocala this morning where one student was shot in school and they arrested the suspect, also a student, and that was confined there to the school in Ocala. 19th anniversary of Columbine's tragedy as well, of course, where 13 people died. We're hearing that 2,600 schools across the country have planned to do walkouts today. As I mentioned that breaking news in Ocala, we now have this live aerial view of Forest High School. This is where a student was shot this morning, continuing the conversation of gun violence in schools coinciding with these walkouts today. In fact, there's a newly released poll this morning from ABC News and the Washington Post where 1,002 adults were randomly phoned, cross-section of society, not one political party, not one ethnicity, but many, and 6 out of 10 adults in this poll support a ban on assault rifles. Many would say that can be linked to the student activism that has really grabbed the attention one way or the other of the country and especially locally here in South Florida. Now, again, you're taking a live look at Forest High School in Ocala. That school was on lockdown for quite some time this morning as reports of a school shooting happened. We did find out through authorities, and it's been reported through the Associated Press, that one student shot in the ankle. That student, non-life-threatening injuries, taken to the hospital, and the suspected shooter, also a student, was taken into custody. We're waiting to hear a little more on that from investigators. But like I said, and we've seen not only here, but we've seen G-Star School of the Arts in Palm Springs had a large gathering. We are expected to see much, much more today, and we will cover that throughout the day, starting with today on 5 at 11 with our newscast and throughout the day. But not only at G-Star School of the Arts, but we're seeing walkouts that start at 10:30 at Jupiter High School, also West Boca Raton High School, as you take another live look there at G-Star School of the Arts. And also not only West Boca, but you're going to see some at Seminole Ridge High School. These are the schools that we've heard that are planning to walk out today, and we plan to cover those as well. We have reporters in all of those locations, some getting started a little later than G-Star did today. But if you missed it, there was a student that he was a survivor, a freshman near that shooting, spoke here to the crowd of students. There he is right there. Had some eloquent words this morning describing exactly what happened in his words that fateful day where 17 people were killed in his school. So members of G-Star School speaking to their fellow students right now. We had our Andrew Ruiz live there before. You're watching a special report for these national and local school walkouts dealing with school gun violence. Let's bring it back here to the studio as we will continue our coverage at Today on 5 at 11, along with the live streaming app on WPTV and WPTV.com. And please check Facebook and Twitter for updates as well at WPTV. Much more to get to, but for now, we will send it back to your regular programming. I'm Mike Trim for WPTV.